Alrighty, so go ahead and get into our situation here. Still playing catch up. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the newsroom and welcome to the Goutopia News Network, your unreliable source for DSP News. This is the Snort Report brought to you by SnortBucks Coffee Company, the best beverage company ever. Here we go. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and get ourselves adjusted here. And as I'm continuing my campaign and going through some of our backlog here, which is far more extensive than I thought, to be honest with you, I almost think that this is probably what September of 2025 is going to look like. It's going to consist a lot of this stuff in this backlog, to be honest, which isn't a bad thing, but that also gives me a lot more time to work on the holidays. So that 25 days of gout miss might be a thing. We'll see. Anywho, hopefully you guys are all doing all right. And let's go ahead and get into what our segment is. We're going to talk a little bit, ladies and gentlemen, about Darkside Phil and his kick deal. This was back in April. So that should be interesting given where we're at now. I'm currently recording this in August. It'll be interesting to see how he initially thought of it and all of his hopes and dreams and us getting to stomp all over them with the reality of the present. So, ladies and gentlemen, no, let's not go ahead and tease any longer. Let's jump into one of my favorite segments, and hopefully, one of your favorite segments. Oh, please. There we go. One of your favorite segments, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my TED Talk. So, back in April, DSP signs his little 9-to-5 deal with Kick, which mainly allows him to basically collect an hourly wage. For those of you who don't know, the problem is that one, it was that hourly wage is cut in half because he is multi-streaming, right? Or he's streaming on multiple platforms. So whatever his initial deal was, let's say it was $20 an hour, because he multi-streams, that gets cut out in half immediately. The second thing, or sunny point number 2, is the fact that the whole Kick deal is predicated on Kino Casino. And if you, just in case you guys don't know, or if you guys may not remember, DSP was in those DMs with PPP and Andy, complaining about how he had been over there on Kick for, it must have been 3 weeks, it might have even been a month, and he was complaining about how he wasn't verified over there yet, and where was his Kick deal? When were they going to give him a deal now that he's brought the fucking Gouty Empire, fucking Burnell Productions over there to Kick, and he was expecting Kick to roll out the red carpet. But more importantly, he was expecting Kino Casino to vouch for him and whatnot, because whether you guys know this or not, PPP and Andy have some pretty good pull over there on Kick. In a similar way, since I'm just going back in time here a bit, big ups to Tevin, praise be. In the same way that Ethan Ralph at one time had a lot of pull on Stream.me, right? And if you guys remember back in those days, they had a situation over there on Stream.me that whoever it was, I think whoever it was, the top 3 streamers on the platform per week would get a few $100s. It may have even been like $1,000, and then the second place person would get a bit of money, and the third place person would get a bit of money. They had some guy who was in some type of like Winnebago or some shit out there spurging, and with his little 20 viewers on the stream, and he was basically collecting this money. And then Ethan came over there, took over fast, and then Ethan brought over friends and foes alike. and then they started really getting into the money. Medicare was over there. He made it, and he was in the top 3. He was number 1 for a while too, but he was in the top 3 over and over and over again. And so that one guy who was basically the top of the heap before the real competition showed up, he started trying to restream Ralph and some of these other guys, thinking he could pull off of them, and it didn't work. They just mocked him and memed the fuck out of him, and so on and so forth. Interesting time. I may tell you guys more about that story later on, but funny stuff, to say the very least. In any case, Kick is no different. To be honest, Kick is no different. DSP's presence over there is completely and utterly predicated on Kino Casino. On top of that, it's completely and utterly predicated on the trolls. So a troll can easily close the Kick tab and jump over there to YouTube, and the lower DSP, and since DSP's paycheck is based upon hourly viewership, you may not notice this, but those boys over there on Kick will fuck with his viewership. It'll go up, it'll go down, it'll go up, go down throughout the day. And I think that right there is fucking with his Kick income. Now, he's going to sit there and tell you, or he's tried to tell us, that, oh, there are problems with the Kick payment system, or it's not calculating stuff right, this, that, and the third. But the reality is, or one perspective, is the fact that the trolls have figured out a way to fuck with his hourly views, and that's what's screwing it up. Another thing, I'm not sure if it's going to be brought up in here or not, that DSP had been caught red-handed doing, by the way, and I had just spoken about this, about how the multi-streaming faction, or factor, if you will, DSP has to manually, I guess, click in his options that he's multi-streaming. If he doesn't do it, and an administrator ends up coming into his streams and finds out that he's dual streaming, he doesn't get paid for that day. You know what I'm saying? And there was a couple of times where DSP was doing that on purpose, and he tried to play his usual stupid act. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, I forgot. Thank you for reminding me. You guys may remember. He was doing that on purpose to test it and see how long he could get away with it or not. At least that's my theory. I'm not sure what the narrative was at that time, but that was always my theory, is that he was purposely doing that, and then eventually he gave it up after he got financially choked out. But we'll see. Let's go ahead and jump into this. We'll see let's see what we have going. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk, and we'll see what's what. Let's see what's what. Let's find out about this Kick deal, and was it really meant to save the business, if you will. Let's see here. Let's go with let's go ahead and hit with our usual coffee shop things. Let's go with there we go. Let's go simple with it. And let's see, I told you guys this was from April. Oh, I have something on the docket for May too. Well, that'll be the next video. All right, so April. So I'm pretty sure this is it right here.
Good morning, everyone.
Yes, it is. April 16th. I have okay, cool. We match up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here with Raw Phil, because of course. And let me see what we got here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, DSP speaks on his new Kick deal and new perks. Ladies and gentlemen, this is from April 16th of 2025. Big ups to Diggs and big ups to Raw Phil. And just without further ado, here we go.
Good morning, everyone. On today's show, we've got some positive updates to discuss because Kick has got a big platform update that they just worked on. One of these changes is already there. Channel points. That's right. Remember when I used to have channel points back on Twitch? Well, Kick has them. Let's talk about that and how it'll be implemented. Also, today, we have to seriously discuss what you guys would like for upcoming goal rewards since you shot down my idea yesterday.
Oh, is this on the back of the DSP tries it for the cologne nonsense? Oh, that shit would have never gone anywhere anyway. But it's funny how mad he got about that and how mad he still is about that no one was receptive to it. I find that to be hilarious. I love that for him. I love that for him. Anywho, it's funny, and I want to make sure I want to illustrate this. I want to put this out there. Is sooner than later, DSP is going back to Twitch. You know what I'm saying? Even in the current timeline in August, DSP's spoken about it at least twice. How he's not going to go. He didn't like the way he was treated. They didn't apologize to him. Yada, 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 yada. The point is that he's going to eventually go back. The landscape on Twitch has changed quite a bit. And I'm not saying that he's any safer from trolling or even being kicked off the platform. But I will also say it's one of the few places he can probably still pull a lucrative amount of money, especially if he's willing to sit there and deal with the shit for a while. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, when he was on Twitch back in 2020, before he got kicked off permanently, excuse me, he was still baseline. He was holding between, I'd say between 400 and like 600 gifted subs or prime subs or whatever monthly. That's far more than what he's producing on Kick. far more. And it was like a regular thing. It was like a reoccurring charge, if you will, right? It was something he didn't even have to think about. All he had to do was basically platform or springboard off of that number. So is he going to get that going back to Twitch? No, not at all. I would, if he pulled over 300 monthly subs, I would be surprised. But I'd say it's a lot fairer. It'd be a lot more conceivable. Let's say that it'd be a lot more conceivable to get 300, 350 a month than him pulling between 5 and 7. So anyway, that's my own personal theory. We'll see how the clock ticks down on that. But enough about the past. Let's talk about the present. Well, we're still talking about the past. You know what I mean? Let's go.
And we should continue the discussion of what to do when we hit 50 goals, because that'll be our next big marathon. Plus some updates on the games and everything else. It's going to be a laid-back, chill atmosphere. Everything will be fun on today's episode of the Level 1 Podcast. Anyway, welcome to the show. Today we've got some big, nice, positive things to talk about. I'm always happy when we come on here and there's so much good, positive, good stuff to discuss. Today, we've got massive improvements to Kick. If you're watching on Kick, you probably will already have noticed some cool improvements. And I want to talk about them because I've already implemented them on the channel. And I want you to understand how it's going to work. So shall we get right to it? Perhaps we will. Let's get right to it. So, folks, Kick is massively improving stuff. Like, no exaggeration, this week they've updated a bunch. First of all, last week there was a whole bunch of issues because they updated the app. And I think people didn't realize the reason they updated the app is because they had new things in the pipeline that they were pushing, and they needed to do a full update to get them implemented. So, luckily, it seems like the issues we were having last week streaming on Kick are fixed. It's not affecting stuff anymore. There was a couple days there where chat kept freezing. We were having issues. But now it seems like it's working. All right?
I think some of those issues were on his side too, but it's easy to blame somebody else. You know what I'm saying? He did everything right. He did everything correct. Yada, 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 yada.
So what is the new improvement on Kick that they just launched? It is channel points. All right? What are channel points and how do they work? Well, the way it works is for every 5 minutes that you watch me on Kick, okay, which is DSP Gaming Real is my channel on Kick, FYI. You earn yourself 10 channel points, okay? Well, what are channel points for? Well, initially, they're not going to be for much because they haven't really implemented them. Just so everyone knows, like, they used to have, well, they do have channel points on Twitch. And on Twitch, there's like a giant menu of stuff you can do with channel points. Notably, one of the things is you can earn temporary unlocks of emotes that you don't have. Maybe you're not subbed, so you can't get access to a certain emote. Well, you can temporarily get access to that emote, stuff like that. I believe you could like specially color your name or text or stuff like that. Since they just launched the channel points on Kick, it's incredibly limited what you can do. The only thing that you can do through Kick itself is to do a...
Yet again, this is the reason why DSP's never been a businessman. That's why he's failed at every business opportunity that's been presented at him, or even one that he's even tried to implement himself, or he's tried to participate in, so on and so forth. Just because they roll out this new situation that's similar to another situation on another platform, he expects to have all the features, all the amenities, all of the functionality out of the box. That doesn't work that way, Phil. You just said they had rolled out a initiative to update the mobile app last week, and look at all the problems that it caused. Now he's sitting here bitching and complaining about, oh, well, we have this new channel point thing, but it's limited. It doesn't have a bunch of stuff yet like these other platforms, this, that, and third. Yeah, it takes time to do shit. It takes time to do shit. It takes time to make stuff happen. That's the reason why he doesn't want to implement anything new, because if it doesn't have an instant payoff, it's a waste of his time. Or it means that he has to work at it, which is a waste of his time. And he wonders why nothing ever gets done, and he wonders why he got shitted on for that fucking cologne idea. How the fuck are you going to take advice from someone as it pertains to cologne or fragrance who doesn't even leave their house? That doesn't make any sense at all. who doesn't even have a lot of experience, or very much experience, I should say, in using cologne himself. And he's supposed to somehow impair that. That was a good one. He's going to somehow impart his wisdom upon you. Make it make sense, Phil. You're one of these guys who probably just throws on some aftershave and move on with your day. Nothing wrong with that, but don't act like you were more than that. Stay in your lane.
Highlighted color message. So what does that mean? For every 200 channel points that you save up on Kick, you can do a highlighted message that will show up as a highlighted text line in chat as a certain color. I have 4 colors available: red, blue, green, and orange. Okay. So
how are you going to segregate people there? Sorry, was that too strong of a word? Segregate? How are you going to... fuck that, I'm going to say segregation. I'm going to stick with segregation because that's clearly what he's going to do. That's how, I guarantee you, that's how he's going to determine who he answers and who he doesn't.
That's cool.
Because remember, DSP is all about wasting people's time. So the more time he can waste out of his quote-unquote trolls, the more, I think, satisfaction he'll get. Whether he responds to their channel point messages or not. But that's just me, though. History's kind of already proven me right, but semantics. Let's act like we're brand new to this.
But admittedly, it's not that big of a deal, right? The message is just a normal message. It doesn't get pinned. It just kind of moves fast, just like everyone else's messages.
So basically, there's no money attached to it, so why should I, or gifted subs or anything, so why should I give a shit? I roger that, Phil. I roger that.
But it does highlight in a special color, and it stands out. You know, right now, if you gift a sub on Kick, that stands out in chat. Well, if you use your channel points, that'll also stand out in chat. And that's really it right now. They don't have anything else. I would hope that eventually they will have maybe a special badge that I can give you guys, or maybe a special emote I can give you guys.
Why? Matter of fact, I'm really surprised because you know how he liked the, he still does it, how he likes to auction off certain badges and whatnot on Kick. I'm surprised there's nothing against Kick's terms of service that, there's nothing against Kick's terms of service to hit his ass for that. Just in case you guys don't know what I'm talking about, or don't remember, or don't care. I don't blame you on any of those fronts. Like, there's an OG badge that he auctions off sometimes. And then there's a second badge that he auctions off as well. Sorry. And I'm really surprised how he never got into shit for that. I mean, don't be wrong, it's a gambling website, so I guess it is what it is. But then again, gambling upon something and auctioning something off are two separate things. Semantics. But the point being is, I'm really surprised that nothing ever came out of him doing that. But then again, he does it very sparingly, though, in our current day and age. Especially if he's desperate for money and he can't bleed anything out of Kick and YouTube's damn near tapped, then he'll occasionally come out there with it. But I'm really surprised he never got any repercussions off of that.
But right now, they haven't implemented anything like that. So I did as much as I could with the very basic stuff that's available. As more gets unlocked and becomes available, I will do it for you. Okay? So there you go. That's all we can really do right now. Now, long term, we could try to think of more stuff. All right? So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I would love to hear what you think about channel points, how they can be implemented. Because the thing is, channel points obviously can be used for things other than just stuff in chat, right? Like, for example, I'm sure certain streamers will be like, oh, well, if you redeem a certain amount of channel points, I'll do something for you on stream. Maybe I'll give you a special shout out, or, you know, I do a dance or something. Who knows, right? I can definitely see that happening.
I mean, aren't you giving them a shout out by acknowledging their message in the first place? So what? All right, I just thought I'd throw it out there. It's highlighted. I mean, they allowed you to highlight it. The message is highlighted, and they're allowing you to apply a color to it, depending on the amount of points that someone chooses to apply to it. Is that not a shout out in itself? So what? Like, you thought you were going to figure out another way of monetizing that? It's very weird. And it's very clear, by the way, that when it comes to Twitch, or Kick, sorry, everything that he was going to do, as everything he's doing currently, is based off what Kino Casino's doing. So let's not act like anything else, right? Because it's not like he's giving what's her name, Strangely Lex. It's not like he's giving her any props for anything that she's doing. And at the current and currently in our timeline, she's doing pretty well from what I've been told. Which big ups to her.
But I guess we'll have to see how things go moving forward. All right. I don't know how fast people will accumulate these points. Right now, they gave me 1 million points. I'm serious. I have 1 million points to use. In fact, would you guys like to see a demo? I'm going to do a demo highlighted message right now. I'm going to do one in green. Okay.
Looks like a goblin and whatnot, counting his shekels and shit like that. What a strange looking guy. Oh man.
So if you're in my Kick chat right now, you're about to see an example. This is what it looks like. See that? So it shows your name in the color, and then it says you redeemed, and then you get your message highlighted, and it stands out in chat. There you go. That's what it looks like. I hope that eventually they upgrade that and it looks better. Right now it looks okay, but I would like the entire thing to stand out as the color, and it doesn't. It's just like text, and it like has like a border. But I wish that it was more than that. But anyway, yeah, they gave me 1 million points, so I can have unlimited highlighted messages if I want.
Yeah, but he don't talk to anybody, so I guess it's virtually useless. So he's sitting on 999,000, etc., and he'll never spend it on anything because he doesn't do anything except for stalk Kino Casino during their streams, but he don't talk to them anymore because he's scared. Pretty poetic when you think about it.
Oh, big deal, right? But maybe eventually we could think of something else, right? We could think of something good. Like if you save up a ton of points and you redeem them, you get something that's like a reaction from me or whatever. I don't know. We'll have to think about it, right? We'll have to think about it. Maybe if you do like, I don't know.
So rack up points and then give me ideas on how you want me to react to you spending your points. There are like automated features you can use, third party, to do all of that for him, but he's so stupid and he's a control junkie that he won't do it. Imagine that.
A ridiculous amount of points. I'm guaranteed to answer your question no matter what it is. But then again, people might be upset with the answer. Who knows? We'll have to figure it out, right? Well,
yeah, because an answer is an answer. It doesn't matter if it's honest or not. An answer is still an answer.
We'll talk about this. Brand new. It just got implemented.
That's a really sick way of thinking about things, too, if you really think about it. Imagine that. Every question that is asked of this idiot is more than like, well, it is a lie. I'll tell you easily 10 out of 10 times, just about everything that comes out of his mouth is a lie. Even if half of it isn't a lie, the other half more than likely is. But for him to be able to rationalize that, like that's okay, because he believes that's what other people do. That's a sick way of living. That's a sick way of existing, because he doesn't live, he exists. That's a sick way of existing, to think about that. That to assume and be okay with and participate in the idea, the concept, the edict that everybody's a liar and you can't trust anybody. So you might as well go along with it because everybody else is doing it. So why shouldn't you do it? That's some wild ass shit, man. That's some wild ass shit.
All right, and let's see.
But even that's a contradictory though, because look at all the time and effort and all the communications you have at Kino Casino. So you took them at their word for everything, even though you yourself said that you were planning on screwing them over in the end. Wild stuff, man. Wild stuff.
See how it works. Already I'm earning points. Basically, like I said, every 5 minutes you watch, you earn 10 points.
Didn't you just say you don't know how they accumulate points, even though what he just said, he said when he led with that. But then he said, oh, I don't know exactly how many points you accumulate. Then he comes back to, you accumulate X amount of points for every minute. It's dumb shit like that only fucking dumbasses like myself would catch. But why would you lie about something so simple like that? That's a lie. You know what I'm saying? He didn't misremember, he lied. But why would you lie about something so stupid? Like, why bother? And this goes back to my theory that he's addicted to lying. He can't help himself. But that also goes back to my edict that you give DSP enough rope and he'll hang himself. Always. Forever. Forever, ever, forever, ever.
So if you do the math, every 2 hours, you would earn what?
Come on, Phil. Dig deep.
Why can't I do the math? I'm being stupid. Like 240 points, something like that? Yeah. So you basically, you could get a highlighted message like every stream if you want. That's good, right? To get a highlighted message every single stream. So there you go. Let's see how it goes, to see how quickly people earn these points and how it goes. I would hope that Kick will add more. I don't just want it to be highlighted messages or silly little things. Like, I would like to give you guys exclusive stuff. Like, maybe we could have a channel points section of emotes, badges, and specialty stuff just for you guys. But right now, they haven't implemented that. I would hope that they will long term. All right. But hey, this is better than nothing. Remember, we used to have penne points over on Twitch. Now we have King's Favor. That's what I'm calling it. King's Favor. You earn King's Favor.
What he's really saying, by the way, is he's really hoping that he can somehow monetize it. So, like, if you donate a certain amount, you'll accumulate a certain amount of channel points. That's what he's really going for. And what he don't want to come out and say it because he's going to sound greedy, but he is greedy, so that shouldn't even matter. But that's what he really means. But he has to wait until to see if Kick will implement it on their side. If not, then he'll try to figure out a way to do it on his own end. Nice T-pose. I guess that's not really a T-pose, though. You gotta have your arms at least above your shoulders slightly, but whatever.
By watching the channel. And then you can get highlights and, stuff like that as a reward for earning the King's Favor.
King's Favor. Oh, man.
There
It's
you go.
cringe.
Well, I know you like penne points, but it's too old. Penne points is such an old meme, and we don't even use that meme anymore. So that's
He said the same thing about DSP tries it before he could convince fucking retarded people to pay for that. Whatever.
stupid. Kickapoo, how are you? Good to see you. Okay, so in addition to that,
And that is kind of funny now I think about it, that you have someone who recycles old shit that had worked at one time and then failed. But he's going to shoot down penne points, but he'll implement all this other bullshit because what? Kino Casino christened it? Like, you haven't grown up. You haven't gotten any better. You know what I'm saying? If a huge demand came in for him to go back to putting on hats or putting on vests, he would do it. You know what I'm saying? Even though in my current timeline, he's retired those things, or at least he says he has. So make of that what you will.
FYI, there's already news and people are talking about it, so I might as well address it. As of yesterday, Kick completely changed the way that their partner program works. What do I mean by that? Well, up to now, if you wanted to become a Kick partner, what that meant was that you need to hit certain criteria of how many viewers you have on each stream.
And this right there is really, really important. So I really want you guys to tap in for this. Because I am curious, what is the minimum amount of viewership you have to hold on Twitch, or not Twitch, sorry, on Kick to keep, to continue to have the benefit of the partner program and to continue to keep generating a weekly or a daily wage or a weekly wage or whatever you want to call it, so on and so forth. I'm really, because I think he gets paid out weekly for, for the hourly bullshit. So I'm curious though, how many viewers does he have to have? Is it over 50 per stream or per month or whatever? Is that like the minimum? Is it at least 100? Is it an average? You know what I'm saying? Like, they take what you do over the span of 7 days and they, they just adjust it accordingly. I'm curious on just how that works.
How many overall viewers you have in a month, how many followers you have in a month, how many paid subs you have in a month, how much you stream in a month, all of that. And if you hit those criteria, you could apply for full-time Kick partner. And if
now keep in mind, DSP was in the DMs bitching to Kino Casino that not only that Kick didn't give it to him, but that Kino Casino themselves weren't vouching for him to Kick to allow him to get it early, to expedite that situation, if you will. Womp womp. Like I said, utilitarianism. You don't serve a purpose. You're just in the way.
if you got it,
Which really don't make no sense. So you try to snake Kino Casino, which you were completely and utterly dependent on as it pertains to Kick, just to fuck them over later, and then you thought you were still going to reap the benefits, the residuals, if you will, of being on Kick and still being able to prosper, even though you fucked those guys over. Like, it was almost like he thought a portion of their audience would side with him and stay with him, which didn't happen. If they weren't trolling, they just picked up and left. Wild stuff, man. If you're going to backstab people, at least do it for the right reasons and whatnot, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? At least do it for the right reasons. You know what I mean? If you're going to be a coward, make sure it's somewhat beneficial to you, I guess.
happen is when you stream, you get paid an hourly rate to stream on Kick. Now, to be clear, I have no idea what the hourly rate is because I didn't apply for it, because there was always this big catch to it. Okay? The catch was as follows. If you became a full-time partner on Kick, you couldn't stream anywhere else. You were not allowed to co-stream. So that means I would have to only stream on Kick and not stream on YouTube. And then that would be just stupid. My YouTube audience is much bigger than my Kick audience. I mean, can I give you an example?
Not by, well, these days, not by much, but all right.
So the podcast just started and we don't have that many viewers yet, but we have 174 viewers on YouTube right now. And we currently have...
That's funny. Didn't DSP says he has no way of actually seeing what his viewer count is? But right here, he's telling you, whatever. I know. I'm nitpicking. I got you. An answer is an answer. Doesn't matter if it's true or not. I got it. I roger that.
84 viewers on Kick. So we have more than double the viewership on YouTube right now than I have on Kick. Do you see?
Not by much.
So, and that's pretty standard. Like usually we have 2 times, sometimes even 3 times the number of viewers on YouTube that we have on Kick. I earn ad revenue for streaming on YouTube. You see?
And if that's the case, and it is, he runs ads during his streams, why the fuck would you sit there and private your streams after the fact? Why wouldn't you just unlist them? So then people could go to his community page, click on the link to the unlisted stream, and then they could watch the whole thing entirely, and he would still generate ad revenue off of it. Instead, he goes ahead and does the stream, then privates it, which basically means he loses all credit from a viewership standpoint on that stream because the stream's effectively dead. Then he goes ahead and gets someone cut that shit up for him and puts it on his channel, and it gets literally no views. It gets next to nothing in viewership. Amazing. Just amazing. Businessman, though. Mature adult with a business degree. Holy shit. Oh, it's so sad.
So I would not want to abandon YouTube streaming. Also, particularly, I can stream at 4.
And actually, I can explain to you why he does that. It's an old habit that he had established when he was on Twitch and whatnot. That's the reason why he does things the way he does it. Tevin did a stream a long time ago, long time ago, where when he used to do some of his restreams, he used to watch DSP directly off Twitch. And if I remember correctly, if you had the tab open to that particular stream, as long as you didn't close the tab, you could watch it in its entirety, right? And I don't know if Twitch ended up doing something about it later, or if DSP pulled some bullshit on his end. I can't remember now. But that's how Tevin used to do that for a long ass time. And there were times where DSP would completely crash the fuck out, and he would delete the stream outright, just wipe it completely. Some days he would forget, some days he wouldn't. It all varied on whatever his mood was, whatever his depression was doing for him or against him. So keep that in mind. Strange times, man. Strange times.
1440p on YouTube. Well, I can only stream at 1080p quality on Kick. They have a limitation on Kick, you see? So because of that, I wouldn't want to only stream on Kick. My audience is primarily on YouTube. I understand that. And I don't want to just jump ship because it means I can make some extra money a month. And I don't even know how much it would be. All right. So why am I bringing this up today? Well, there was a big update on Kick overnight. Basically, now they've changed the criteria. Now you can be a partner on Kick, stream on Kick, you get paid to stream on Kick, and you can still co-stream to other sites. They've completely changed the criteria.
Well, yeah, because they wanted to capitalize on the blunder with what Twitch was doing and what Twitch is still doing. Because now they're penalizing you just for having your chat on stream if you're an affiliate or a partner, or if you have a contract. I don't have any of those things, and I dual stream, and I haven't gotten slapped for it. But that is what that is. So, but even then, it's dumb because they don't want the Twitch doesn't want anybody promoting essentially another platform. That does kind of make sense. But we are in the day and age where people are multi-streaming, right? You got people now, and it's good to see this happen because I always said that it was going to happen this way. It has to. And you see it amongst detractors. Most detractors dual stream. But eventually, you're going to see the point. We're going to get to the point, especially with the internet. As the internet allows it, that people are going to be streaming on like 3 different platforms just to try to get yourself out there. You know what I'm saying? There's people that are already doing it, but sooner than later, as dual streaming is becoming the standard, multi-streaming, meaning 3 platforms or even more, like what Josh from the Farms does, is going to be the standard. If you're really streaming and you're taking it seriously, you know what I'm saying? If you should be trying to expand your reach as much as you can. But that's, time will show that. And so so Twitch trying to somehow hinder that is dumb. You know what I'm saying? It's really, really stupid. But then again, they support some questionable people, so maybe a shift in leadership has been long overdue. Let's say that.
Now the difference is you get paid less. But considering the fact that I'm not getting paid at all to stream on Kick because there's no ad revenue to go around, right? Anything is better than nothing.
If that's the case, then why not go back to Twitch then? Because on Twitch, he's on a larger platform, and he can still get, well, before the new initiative that they Twitch rolled out, he could still go ahead and get tips. Right? Now, if he goes back to Twitch, he can get bits, and he can get gifted subs, or I think they call them memberships over there. No, they're subs. And he can get gifted subs. Then once he hits affiliate, he'll get the payout for all of that. And I think if he makes partner again, which he'll probably never get that, he'll be able to get ads. But here's the point. He should just go back to Twitch then. Because he'll hit affiliate. Like, he'll at least get that. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, if they're rolling out monetization for everybody, he's more than likely able to get the channel remonetized. Because remember, DSP and Wings, for example, are not banned from Twitch. They're just demonetized. But if they're lifting that and allowing everybody to be monetized, then he can already sidestep that. It's not a problem. It's not a concern. We'll see.
So we'll see what happens. I don't know if I'm going to get approved or not. According to their criteria, I do qualify, but it doesn't mean I'm going to get it. They selectively choose who they decide is in their partner program. And it might be that I'm just not big enough. And I'll be honest with you guys. If they turn me down, I'm not going to be upset. I'm not going to change anything from what I'm doing now anyway.
But yet again, he's already lying. That's why the next scratch is about to come up. Because he'd already been harassing, so to speak. He's been already harassing Kino Casino to vouch for him so he can get in there. But this is the public lie. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to continue to co-stream. I'm just going to keep doing what I do. Maybe if I continue to keep building my viewership on Kick, it'll be more likely that they'll approve it. But I'll be honest, I'm not feeling so good about it because I barely qualify. I'm like this close to, I'm like qualifying. I am qualifying, but I'm like this, I'm like the edge of it. So I wouldn't be shocked.
So then you either qualify or you don't. There's no such thing as I barely qualify. I understand you're thinking about Panda Phil and her being barely legal, but either you qualify or you don't. End of story, champ.
If they say no. And if they say no, it's not a big deal. In truth, I don't think it affects anything. Like, I don't think it would change the quality of streams. I don't think anything. The only thing is I have to enable this setting that says you're co-streaming, because then they know that I'm co-streaming and I make this certain rate or whatever for streaming. But again, I don't.
So he knew that he had to do that. And yet, for whatever reason, later on, he skirts that and acts like, oh, I didn't remember. Oh, I forgot. Oh, I wasn't sure. And that's when that guy or whoever it was on Twitch was coming into his chat like every other night and having to remind him, because there must be some type of notification that the administration gets to be able to tell. And I honestly think DSP was testing it. And it's kind of weird to say that, but I almost feel like DSP was trying to test it to see what he could get away with and what he couldn't. And once he got caught at least 3 or 4 times, it might have been maybe 3, then all of a sudden he dropped the facade and did what he was supposed to do. But he was certainly trying to test the boundaries to see what he could get away with.
I don't know what the rate is. I did ask them that. I applied and I said, hey, just so you know, the reason I'm doing this is because you changed your criteria. I am going to co-stream on YouTube. So I'm curious what they're going to say if I do get, if I do get approved or not. I don't know. So anyway, let's see what happens. Hey, if I get approved, that's amazing. It's literally just some extra income for doing what I'm already doing. And here's the truth too. The last few months, things have been slow in regards to overall viewership. But why is that? Because there's nothing going on in the realm of gaming. When I do have something special going on, like, oh, there's a special show with a guest or whatever, you notice my viewership has been sky high. But outside of that, gaming has been very dead this year. The few games that have been the biggest, most successful games like Monster Hunter Wilds or Split, what's the other one? Split, not Split Decision. The one that's the co-op game, right? I didn't play them. They're not my style. They're not games that I'm going to be playing.
So it's not that there aren't good games out there to play. It's just you're bad at picking games, basically. And you're bad at playing them. So he doesn't want to play the hot new releases, and then the games that he does play are so poor that he can't hold viewership. That sounds like a you and a you problem, to be honest, but semantics.
So because of that,
so it doesn't have shit to do with gaming being dead. It's just you're useless, apparently. you have no grasp of what your audience is looking for, and what you do pick, you're poor. You play them poorly. You present them poorly. You demonstrate a lack of a lot of things from just mental comprehension, as well as the physical act of being able to do shit and whatnot. And it's hindered you, and it's hindered the content. Womp womp.
I'm doing what I can, but playing Suikoden, HD Remaster, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, and Atomfall is probably not going to bring in big views. You know what I'm saying? But later this year, when we start actually getting more high-profile games, that could change. So let's see how the year goes. And, that's excellent if I do end up getting more views.
And that's another thing, too. And this is rare, because I've never heard, I got to be honest with you, at least amongst the streamers that I watch, and the ones who I talk to, I've never heard them say that. Where it's like, oh, well, yeah, this game isn't going to be good for my content, or my streams are not going to be receptive to it. I've never heard another person say that. That just seems, you know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like, okay, games are just a crutch for DSP and that's it. If the game isn't just white hot popular, right? And that's his terminology, not mine. Then it's just a failure and that's it. Well, here's the reality of it. Because, as I said earlier, mentally and physically, he can't keep up with what the games are demanding of him anymore, which is the bare minimum at best. Eventually, he's going to just quit gaming altogether because he doesn't have anything to add to the conversation. Not only can he not participate in playing them, but truth be told, he has no business speaking on it. And you're seeing that more and more, ladies and gentlemen, with the FGC. As it pertains to current fighting games, he literally has no voice in the conversation whatsoever. So he thinks he can go ahead and eat off the retro games and thinks anybody cares. But no one's going to, because there's already established pillars in the FGC to go to and that you can listen to, who play those games on a regular basis, or at least regular enough to where they're being recognized for it. So what the fuck you need him for? Something about
viewership or whatever, then maybe this wouldn't even be an issue and I will just qualify for the partnership. I don't know. But let's see what happens. Okay? Let's see what happens. So, two very positive things, right? So, number one, we've got channel points for Kick viewers, which you could start earning immediately and you can redeem for a highlighted message, and the possibility that I may become a partner on Kick, but I don't know. We'll see. If it, again, like I said, if it doesn't happen, I'm not disappointed or sad or angry. I'm doing good right now. Like, no lie, I'm doing good. Already this month on Kick, things are great. With the
That's pretty pathetic that you have to look at the materialistic bullshit around you to justify what you perceive to be success. That's pretty sad. Even though none of that stuff really has any functionality. And if anything, it kind of just makes him come across as a groomer. This isn't something that someone who's actually passionate about games, that's not how this is all set up, or this is not how, or that is not how, I should say, it's presented to you. Like, when you look at Max's setup, you can tell that's someone who cares about games. Not just fighting games, but he cares about games. And he's passionate about them. And he knows about them, right? He just doesn't regurgitate what he saw in someone else's video and try to pass it off as his own. When you look at DSP, everything about him screams poser. It screams fraud. It screams fake. It screams someone who's just desperate to try to fit in. And that's the reason why he stuck with gaming as long as he did. Because he couldn't fit nowhere else. That's really what it comes down to. And that might be, ladies and gentlemen, the most pathetic thing of all.
Amount of gifted subs and things I've been getting, I'm not upset with my kick performance at all. I'd be stupid to be. Okay. All right. Good stuff. Now, let's talk about the other side of the equation here. Let's talk about what we're already doing, the goals that we're hitting, the success that I'm having, because we need to figure out what we're going to do as rewards for you guys supporting me so much. Okay?
So is it his stream or is it their stream? If you think about it. Hey, let me allow you guys to pick the rewards for me begging you guys for a lot of money. The fuck? A reward that they really have no participation in. He just gives them the illusion of choice. The choice doesn't really exist. He'll give you, yeah, he'll take in all of the options and air quotes that you guys give him, and then he'll just pick the one that he wants. At the end of the day, it may very well be something that you're not interested in. So now you ain't sat there and got yourself fleeced for all this money for an opportunity, a chance to participate in something that you may not have even wanted. That's funny, ladies and gentlemen, because didn't this idiot say that's the reason why he doesn't want to do raffles? Because, oh, well, not everybody gets the win. You know, only one person actually does, and that's it. Well, if let's say there's 20 people who suggest, let's say there's 4 options that were presented by 20 people, right? And let's say 1 out of those 20 recommended the one thing and DSP actually went with it. And everybody else is like, oh shit, well, he didn't pick anything I wanted. Didn't just one person win? Didn't just one person benefit? Yeah, all the other assholes can get to sit there and watch him poorly eat whatever slop that was chosen. But doesn't only one person actually get the benefit of getting what they want? Semantics.
Cool. So if you don't know, into the office, that's what we're here for. Ayana Gaming redeeming their new channel points on Kick to say, I have received, and then 2 of my O faces from 2016 from the incident. Very nice. Thank you, Ayane Gaming, for watching my content. I appreciate you. What's up? Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a very special late night stream tonight. I'm very excited tonight because, ladies and gentlemen, we have a dual positive thing going on. On top of the fact that
Jesus Christ, he looks sweaty and filthy. Holy shit, bro. He looks sweaty and filthy.
channel points just launched over on Kick, which is excellent. People are earning points and using them to get highlighted messages in chat. It's a really nice new feature that Kick is doing to try to compete with what Twitch has done over the years. If you're not aware, today is actually the 15-year anniversary of DSP Gaming and my beginning to upload to the channel. I actually created the channel originally on April 15th, 2010, and started regularly uploading playthroughs on April 16th. So it's actually, to the day, 15 years of daily gameplay content that I have put out on the internet.
15 years of absolute fucking failure. Wow. Someone who is as infamous as himself still finds the justification to celebrate him being online for 15 years, despite the fact that he's universally hated, despised, or ignored. I guess get your wins where you can, but that's tough. That's a tough one, cowboy. That's real tough.
But in addition to that, I have even better news than that, folks. You ready for this?
Nice snort.
It is absolutely official. I have been partnered on Kick. That is right. I have been officially...
The reality is, I think he was actually probably partnered even earlier in the day, and he knew about it, and he decided to sit on it so he can get a fresh start. You know what I'm saying? Like, he already knew he got partnered in the morning, decides to go ahead and announce it that later on that night, and then the next day he can go ahead and they can start the ball off or whatever. I feel like that's really what he did. And that's why he was so quick to say, oh, well, if I don't get in, I don't care. Oh, if I don't qualify just yet, no problem. I'll just continue to keep trucking at it, guys. You know what I'm saying? It's not that big of a deal, but if it happens, it happens. It already happened. And he was just sitting back on it.
Partnered on Kick. After grinding it out on that site for what? I started in October, early October. So Apparently, we're doing the Double One podcast again. Yeah, the daily grind has paid off. Okay, it has. As of this very stream right now that I am streaming, all right, this is my first ever partnered stream on Kick. What does that mean?
I guarantee you, he actually got the notification earlier in the early stream, and he decided to just unveil it here. I'm almost confident of it, to be honest with you.
It means Kick actually pays me to stream on the site. Now, how much? That I don't know. You actually don't know, because when you actually sign up, it says you basically won't know until after you stream. It's based on certain factors, like how many people tune in, audience retention, things like that. So on a stream that's lower attendance, I might get less. On a stream that's like a popular stream with more viewers on Kick, I might get more.
And that's how I know he was ripping them off with the whole with clicking that switch to notify Kick that, hey, you are dual streaming. It's like a trust test, if you will, right? And if you're not trustworthy, or if you're not being honest, they'll just go ahead and take all of your revenue for that day. Same concept. This idiot right here knew that his viewership was bullshit on Kick. He knew it. So, hey, if I have a couple of days where I forget to wink wink, turn on oink oink, if I forget to turn on the I am dual streaming, if he forgets a couple of days a week, no big deal. He'll balance it all out. Until he started getting his cheeks clapped. Then all of a sudden he had to straighten the fuck up. And that's why when he talks that bullshit about, oh, Twitch never told me what I did wrong, they didn't do this, that, and the third, they didn't illustrate it well enough, or they didn't articulate it to me straightforward enough, or whatever, it's just a coward. Man, it's a coward masquerading as a child, saying, oh, well, you need to explain this better to me, Daddy. I don't understand. I'm not sure if I'm not really getting it. It's like that. And then he wonders why he's a fucking joke. He wonders why different sponsorships or endorsements won't deal with him. You know what I mean? And it makes a whole lot of sense, because you can't trust him. You need a level of good faith going into anything. And DSP doesn't exhibit that. Can't be trusted.
I guess it fluctuates.
And if you got scumbags like fucking Keemstar telling you that, Keem said that to him during the side scroller interview. If you got someone like Keemstar that's telling you that says something. That really, really says something. And it also makes even more sense on why Boogie and Wings never went on to the Bottom Bitch podcast, the Daily Therapy Session, whatever you want to call it. There's a reason why they didn't do it either. They couldn't trust him to reciprocate that goodwill. And why would DSP? He's a scumbag. Can't trust him. Fucking the Gouty Viper.
But
King
the way
Snake.
it works is they have a queue. Excuse me, not a queue. A page called Partner Income, where they are going to tell me how much I make on each stream. Actually, right now it's calculating. Seriously, it's actually calculating this very moment, this stream, and adding it to the total. And so this is neat.
Now, yet again, another piece of evidence that proves that DSP knew what he was doing when he wasn't flipping that switch. Whatever little bit he could try to get away with, it is what it was, because he knew the viewership wasn't going to be shit on Kick. He knew that. So, like I said, if he can get away with it, okay, Monday I'll flip the switch on it, but maybe Thursday I won't. Maybe Thursday I'll forget. Okay, nothing happened, but I got that little bit of a boost. Even though we're talking about cents. It's probably just cents. It wasn't even dollars we're talking about here. We're talking about cents. You know what I'm saying? Literally scrounging for dimes and nickels and pennies and shit. Then maybe Sunday, I'll flip it back on just so I can try to throw them off the scent. Because remember, DSP thinks he's the smartest person in the room. When you start getting into that type of situation, hey, I'm not ripping you off. I was just testing the boundaries of the system. That's all. Oh, maybe the system was glitched. Oh, maybe I did actually hit it, and I remember hitting it, but I don't know why it didn't work. That's not my fault. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm sorry, but it wasn't my fault. There's something wrong with your system. You're telling me DSP wouldn't lie or wouldn't try to finagle himself into positions to make that happen? Or to try to spew that bullshit? If DSP can hit somebody with pignosis, of course he's going to do it. Why not?
This is really cool. I can't wait to see, what it is. And like I said this morning, because I talked about it a little bit on my podcast, I said, I don't know if I'll get approved for it or not.
And then here's the wild shit. LTG fucking dual streams or multi streams. He multi streams on fucking Twitch and Kick. Why doesn't he ever have a problem doing this? Why is it always got to be these scumbag, slime grease balls like DSP? Just something to think about. Fuck LTG, by the way, but just I thought I'd bring it up there as an example.
I'm actually surprised they approved me for it so fast.
Yet again, you go back to those DMs with PPP, and it wasn't nothing fast about it, kid. Sorry, what'd you say? You said that you've been around since October. It's April. I don't know, champ. I don't seem very fast, bro. I don't think that's a thing, but whatever. I guess if you're already a snail, you know what I'm saying? And as you see, I guess if you're a snail, anything that kind of breezes past you, you may interpret as you moving fast, not actually the world around you. Semantics.
And I doubt it's going to be a lot. I'm multi-streaming, and multi-streaming is now allowed under the partner program as of yesterday. So I'm literally the first class of people who signed up, got partnered, and I'm streaming to both YouTube and Kick at the same time, but I'm still getting paid for it on Kick. So I have no idea how much I'm going to make. We'll find out. You know, let's see how tonight goes. Tonight likely won't even be a well-attended stream, I don't think, because tonight we're finishing up Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, which should only take us about an hour. But then after that, we're going to have some extra time to just hang out. And so what I will do is once we beat Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, I'll post up again, like on X and on my pages, and say, hey, for the second half of the stream tonight, we're just going to chill. We're just going to hang out and enjoy each other's company. Rather than it be about gameplay, we could just have a cool, like, hour-long celebratory Q&A session where we have a good time together to celebrate my 15-year anniversary on DSP Gaming and becoming a partner on Kick.
And you can even see how, you can already see in his head how he's trying to set things up. So finish the game, right? And then go ahead and post up, hey, come and celebrate my 15th year anniversary on Kick. Well, my 15th year anniversary on YouTube, and I also got this deal on Kick. So you can already see how he's trying to funnel everybody in. And it didn't work. I'm pretty confident it didn't work. But that's funny. And it's not even creative. You know what I'm saying? It's not even creative. It's just lazy. It's that weak, lazy shit that you would expect out of like Wings of Redemption, for example. And even him, or at least not that I've paid attention to, even he's not celebrating however many fucking years he was on YouTube or whatever. Wow, that's really sad. But then again, if your whole life is just one big L, you'll take whatever W wherever you can get it, even if it's not really a W.
Excuse me. So,
celebrating just existing. That's really sad.
Pretty cool. Let's see how it goes. All right, first partner stream ever.
And that's another thing too. Actually, I'm sorry, I got to illustrate this too. Remember, DSP has 100,000 followers on Twitch. I mean, keep in mind, and I'm pretty confident someone's crunched the numbers at this point. But keep in mind, at least half of that, if not 3/4 of it, are dead troll channels. You know what I'm saying? So you can't tell me there's not an incentive for him to eventually go back to Twitch. I just thought I'd bring it up.
And earlier today, I had some issues. My power went out and on again. This happened like last week, and it was annoying because it screws up all my lighting, and it did again. So I had to spend like 20 minutes getting all my lighting working again. It's like, ugh. I hope the power doesn't go out again. I don't know why the power keeps going out here, but I have battery backup. So luckily, the good news is my PCs and shit don't go off. You know, that's kind of a really important thing. And I get it so that doesn't happen. So that's a good thing. But it is frustrating because then there's other stuff that I have to recalibrate and reset and everything. All right. Okay, so we're going to begin in a couple of minutes here. There's one thing that I want to check quickly. Funny, what's going on here? Oh, there it is. Okay. Here we go. There, I wanted to turn that off.
You know, now that I think about it, isn't that strange? He boasts about him being a businessman, running his own business, one-man show, all of that. So he's okay with preaching about the responsibilities that he holds as a businessman, but he wants to bitch and complain about the burdens of being a businessman. I always thought that was the most backward fucking thinking ever. Like, you take the good and the bad with everything. You know what I mean? And the fact that he would whine and complain about something that, anybody who runs a stream has to deal with. Is fucking insane. Of course, he won't get off his ass and investigate why it happens. He won't do anything that he won't do anything to try to fix it, right? He'll just sit there and complain about it. Like that means anything to anybody. Womp womp.
Because like I said, when everything restarted and everything went wacky today. I actually had technical issues earlier today too with my stream. My capture device was not functioning properly, but I think we got it good. No, play on station. Kick does not permanently archive your videos. They don't. They keep your stream archives up for roughly a week on the page, and then they delete them. So there's nothing you can do about that. It's not like YouTube where it's like a repository of endless viewership for your content. They keep it for about a week.
It's not the way he does it. It doesn't work that way anyway. It doesn't work that way either because this idiot privates his streams on YouTube afterwards. So all the views that he accumulated on that doesn't mean anything. It's like it never is. If you really think about it, it's like the stream never happened. It'd be the equivalent of him deleting it. Because how is YouTube going to count all that? So let's say, hypothetically, let's say every stream that DSP does accumulates, let's be generous, let's say 3,000 views, right? The morning streams anyway. Let's say those accumulate 3,000 views. He streams 5 days a week. So what is that? 15,000 views? It doesn't matter because they got privated. So YouTube doesn't count it because they got privated. They're no longer, it doesn't exist. And it hurts him because one, it doesn't give the channel any credit, so it doesn't allow him to move up or even break into the algorithm or the search engine. But on top of that, he's basically fucking himself over with the lack of basically free money because he won't unlist the shit and leave the URL up so people can watch it. You know what I'm saying? Who can go back and actually watch it in itself. He wants you to watch the edited version of it or whatever, and he thinks that's doing him a favor, and it's not. So what would you rather have? Put a dead video, or a video that's DOA, I should say, up on your channel and shit, so people can recap what you did earlier that day, or just unprivate the stream and leave the URL up on your community channel and on your Twitter or X or whatever the fuck, and people could just bounce over there and see that. Which one do you think holds more value? Don't worry, I'll wait.
And then they remove them from your page. So if you want to see this stuff long-term after the fact, you got to check it out on YouTube.
And then here's another thing. This idiot knows that what I'm saying is right? Because there are certain streams that does incredibly well that he leaves up, as well as he'll try to put the edited bullshit out there too. So he'll double tap on shit that did really, really well, but he won't do it for the daily shit. If you don't see any value in, in keeping your daily shit made available, why would you do it for these ones over here? What sense does that make? You know what I'm saying? That's like someone who goes and gets a lottery ticket, right? Let's say they spend $5 on a lottery ticket and they win $5 and they just toss it because, oh, well, whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? And then they're trying to hunt, or they're on the hunt, if you will, for that big $1 million ticket that never shows up. Well, what about all those $5 winning tickets that you have that you just left in your car? You know what I'm saying? Or you just left on your couch or wherever the fuck, he lives in a pigsty, so use your imagination. What about that? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, if every little bit counts, then why? It's not like it's any more effort. Just unlist the damn thing. But maybe it's just me.
Which is good because YouTube has the better quality. When you're watching me on YouTube, it's 1440p. Well, I can only do 1080p over on Kick because of their limitations. That would be great if they upped that to 1440p. Then I would definitely broadcast at that quality on Kick as well. Okay. I got a $1 tip. Someone says, congrats on getting partner. You deserve it. Thank you. It was a grind. I mean, let's take a look at this. How for the entire first month, actually longer than that I was dual streaming.
How was it a grind? And he's already said this, but how was it a grind to do something that you were already doing? Like, what you think about? He clicks start stream, and then he clicks end stream. How is that any different? Oh, well, because he has 2 chats, this, that, and a third. He's using, I'm pretty sure at this point, because Andy already put him on game, he's literally using a third party that allows to see the chat basically all combined together. Or maybe he's not, and maybe he really is so archaic that he's just looking at 2 separate stream chats. Even still, it don't matter. His chats don't move anything crazy, so it's not like he's missing anything. So whether it's the former or the latter, it doesn't even matter, because he isn't moving the needle. There's no real strives going on. So what's the point? So where's the grind at, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, he has to beg on 2 different platforms. Hey, you guys on YouTube, thanks for giving me all this money. Hey, Kick, why are you guys being some lazy assholes and shit? Give me money. Is that really a grind, ladies and gentlemen? Holy shit. Oh, that's amazing.
I was paying to do it via that Restream website. Then I found out there was actually a free plugin via OBS that you could do it for free, and the plugin actually worked better anyway than Restream did.
Yeah, no shit. And people try to tell him that, but no, I want to go with the Restream thing. And I don't even know who he was talking to about Restream OS or IO. Sorry, Restream IO. Because I don't think Andy and PPP use that. I think they have used it, but I don't think they use it. Now, Josh does. Josh from the farms. But he's already done it at this point. He was developing his own program that makes it a bit easier. So I don't know why he started using Restream IO. And then I don't know why he bought the paid version, because it didn't benefit him. He threw his money away, where the free version would do everything he needs, honestly. And the quality of his content is trash anyway, so who gives a shit?
So that you know, then I had to figure out all the ins and outs of doing it on Kick versus on YouTube, like the quality settings and things, and monitoring 2 stream chat.
And that's all bullshit too. I can actually debunk this right now, because Andy even admitted he had to walk DSP through this multiple times. He walked DSP through the multi-streaming thing and how to use the app properly and how to do this and how to do that and where he should place it and all of this. Literally, Andy Worski did all of that for him. He literally, over multiple, I think Andy said it took him a few times to finally get it to set into DSP's fucking cranium and whatnot. What should have been explained in 20 minutes, it took Andy multiple sessions to tell DSP that shit. And even then, DSP was still fucking shit up. And then what would he do? Run right back to Andy and ask for help. Pathetic. Fucking pathetic.
Which is not easy to read 2 stream chats at the same time, but I got it going. I mean, it's been over 6 months now, right? Roughly. Because I think I started, like I said, early October. So October, November, December, January, February, March. Yeah, basically, we're over 6 months I've been co-streaming now. And it finally paid off. Not only getting verified a couple weeks ago, but now getting partnered. Amazing. I said, wow, you want to talk about a complete 180 change. We went from me just a few years ago being basically in the worst situation I've ever been in, dead up to my eyeballs, living stream to stream, not knowing if I was going to be able to pay this or that, behind on bills.
Living stream to stream. That's so sad. And the reason why I say that's sad, not because this ass clown, fuck him, but there's a guy in the Smash community, who's not a pedophile, at least as far as we know, he's not one. Who he was so down bad because of the Panda Global debacle, or really the Smash and Melee community turning against Panda Global, only for them to get fucked up later, and they're still fucked up now. And there's talks of Nintendo completely wanting to pull out from doing business with the Smash and Melee community altogether. And if that happens, holy shit, that's going to be a fucking amazing. I can't wait to go over that. So don't think I've given up on that Panda Global whole situation. I haven't. I'm biding my time. I'm stacking my chips and whatnot. Trust me, I've got at least a good 5 or 6 hours and whatnot already in the chamber for y'all and whatnot. There's just so much to sift through. Anywho, there is a top player over there. Not the one who brags about fucking his mother when he was 14 years old. Not that sick shit. That's what's his name? That's Saab or Shab? I think his last name is Shab. I think that's that weirdo and whatnot. Technical's already basically packed his ass up, but that's a crazy ass story itself if you guys ever want to hear it. Anyway, there was another guy though who was a really good player. Like I think he was like top 3. He may have been even in top 5. When the Panda Global situation happened and Panda Global basically folded, he couldn't get sponsorship. So he was literally grinding streams out, like really grinding. He was grinding streams out just so he could have groceries. And then it gets even worse because there was times where people would DoorDash him food, right? Whatever it may be. I'll use the Chinese food one, for example, because that's the one in particular I had watched. And I think they sent him orange chicken, fried rice, some lo mein, and something else. And dude, first off, he's incredibly grateful. Dude's damn near in tears. Then he's literally like, I don't think he even remembered he was on stream. He's literally kind of like mumbling to himself. He's talking to himself. He's talking to himself, trying to figure out how he can stretch this out over 3 days. Like he was rational. He was like rationing this shit out. Like okay, I can have this now, and I think I'll be good, and then this tomorrow. It was wild. It was wild. I've never seen that obviously in real time, but I've only heard about stuff like that during like fucking famines, genocides, shit like that during the war. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's where I've read about those things. I've never actually seen somebody in real time have to do this shit. That was wild. That was fucking wild. And some of the ass clowns who put that guy in that position are the very guys bitching and complaining now about how we're losing more and more Nintendo support, but yet they defend pedophiles. Imagine that shit. They defend groomers. Imagine that shit. They ain't help drive a guy to kill himself. Imagine, well, he didn't actually kill himself. He died from an infection or attempting to try to kill himself. You get my drift. So, just wild shit, man. Just absolutely fucking wild shit.
Behind on taxes. Now, I am doing good. My support levels are amazing, right? You guys, with your support, your positivity, things are looking up. This is amazing. Thank you guys so much.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty awesome. Speaking of which, we hit the goal on the earlier stream. So we continue with our streak. It has been
oh yeah, that's important because this is when he was on again, off again, still calling that shit a streak. You don't call it that so much anymore, but that's how he looks at it. Because remember, my theory, if he hasn't already hit it yet, is he's still trying to beat that 276. And I don't know if he's there yet. I don't know if he's actually hit 300 yet. But I bet you once he does, then he'll boast about it when that time comes.
No, 12 straight streams. 12 straight streams that we have hit my goal.
Oh, 276 is me referencing a vest streak, by the way. Even though it really ended at 73, but semantics.
So let's hit that goal tonight. Again, let's get to unlucky 13 tonight. Okay? Please support the stream. I realize that when I play Pirate Yakuza, we don't always hit the goal. But tonight, let's keep that momentum going. This is the finale of Pirate Yakuza tonight. So let's get some subs over on Kick, notably my first partnered stream ever.
See, that's the reason why nice T-post. That's the reason why I think he waited till the night stream. Because the Pirate Yakuza video streams were already lagging, and he needed it to give an extra boost. And that's why he's basically stockpiling all this bullshit onto this stream. It's the finale, supposed to be quote-unquote big celebration. Got the whole celebrating over the Kick partnership, yada, yada, yada. He's doing whatever he can to prop this last stream up moving forward. It's in his MO, to be honest with you.
On Kick, let's get some subs on Kick. Let's get some super chats. Let's get a tip. Let's get a membership. Let's hit the goal. Yeah. Come on. Come on. Let's get excited. Alrighty then.
What a sad imitation of what he perceives PPP doing. Like, that's not what PPP does at all. Not even close. You know what I'm saying? Just absolutely sad. But yet he believes, oh, well, PPP does it. I'm just a carbon copy of him. Not even close. Not even close. You know what I'm saying? Holy shit.
Very nicely done.
That's like saying fucking playing with broken melted crayons and messing with watercolors are the same damn thing. Not even close.
I didn't even pour my drink. I was so excited to get started streaming tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure you were. You forgot to pour your own gin? That's unfortunate, Phil. That's unfortunate. I'll say, you're not a very good alcoholic either, bro. You sitting there trying to boast all this shit up. You were going to get into your victorious drinking from your goblet, and you forgot to pour the damn thing? That's pathetic. And then the idiot wasn't able to differentiate the weight, so he couldn't even tell that the cup was empty or full. That's wild. You don't believe me? Here, let me bring this back. See it for yourself. That was in the details.
Just hit the goal. But tonight, let's keep that momentum going. This is the finale of Pirate Yakuza tonight. So let's get some subs over on Kick, notably my first partnered stream ever on Kick. Let's get some subs on Kick. Let's get some super chats. Let's get a tip. Let's get a membership. Let's hit the goal. Yeah. Come on. Come on.
Seem pretty comfortable having something black in front of your mouth like that, Phil. I mean, I would expect that from Cat, but I don't know. Maybe sharing is caring in the Brunel household, I guess.
Let's get excited. All righty then. Very nicely done.
Didn't even notice until he picked it up. You see that shit? Couldn't differentiate at all until he actually looked down and saw it. Amazing. And I know for some of you, you're like, oh, that's no big deal, Golden. You're wasting your fucking time. What the fuck? What's the point of this shit? No, really think about it. Think at how poorly his motor skills are. That he couldn't tell the difference between picking up a full cup or a cup with anything in it and an empty one. You know what I'm saying? You would think, oh, well, you've done that too. But really think back. When's the last time you remember doing that? Honestly. It's a habit. It's something you do every day. When's the last time you remember that? If I was to reach down for my water bottle right now, and the moment I lift it, okay, there's barely anything in there. I don't have to actually see it. I can tell. But he couldn't tell. Wild shit. Like I said, it's all the little things.
I didn't even pour my drink. I was so excited to get started streaming tonight. I didn't even pour my drink. Wow. Yes, this is my first partnered stream ever on Kick. Shout out to BH Obama, who just redeemed 200 King's favorite points on Kick for a highlighted message. Nice blue.
And now that I think about it, actually, now that I think about it, because he sat there and said this is his first, you know what I'm saying, partnered stream with this, that, and third. Can I really put it past him that the day stream wasn't partnered and he just didn't tell them? Just so he could rack that money up, and it gives him an idea of, okay, this is how much viewership I had on the day stream, how much am I going to accumulate, and then I'll announce it on the night stream, and we'll see if they can meet it, beat it, or exceed it. Think about that. I really want you to think about it now. This is big picture type shit. Let's look past the scenario or the situation and look at the much larger picture. I wonder if that's what he really did. He just didn't tell them. I wonder. I wouldn't put it past him.
One. I have no idea what you just said. Thanks for the $2 tip. I don't even know what that means. Okay. Seriously, I'm just going to say whatever. Paying no attention to nonsense tonight. Only positivity here. It's a celebration tonight, folks. I received a $1 tip. Okay, thanks for the $1 tip. Again, I'm not going to read any drama stuff. I'm just going to say thanks. There you go. All right. That's right. Damn straight. No drama here. Only fun. Only fun and chill vibes, Pirate Yakuza conclusions, and celebratory partner streams. That's what we're doing tonight. Damn straight.
So sad.
Excuse me.
So sad.
I'm belching disgustingly from dinner. Before you all ask me, we had turkey sloppy joes for dinner again. We've been having them once a week for like the past month. They're just good. It's just lean turkey in a sloppy joe sauce with diced onion and a few other seasonings and things. And you just have it on a whole wheat roll. And what I do is we have two rolls and we just pile a scoop on each. And you just eat it like that with a fork. It's delicious. It's good for you. High protein, a little bit of carbs, which you need, but not a ton because it's the whole wheat. It's the better carbs. It's just good for you. It's good stuff. Good protein.
Okay. Oh, man.
This is the end of Pirate Yakuza, so if you have not liked the playthrough, you are about to be delighted because it's going to end. We're at 40 hours roughly of playtime here, and we're going to wrap it up.
Imagine you telling people, hey, you guys can celebrate that this series that you guys aren't interested in is about to end. What? How are you getting people invested in your content if you're advocating for people to be excited that something's about to finish up? That's silly. He would have. It's funny because, people say, oh, he'd make a good politician, this, that, and the third. This motherfucker wouldn't last in marketing. You know what I'm saying? This dude would be terrible at marketing. You know what I'm saying? He can barely convince people to give him money. That's why there's only like 10 people total who do so. And all of them are probably on at least 2 sock accounts or more. And that might be just me being generous. He's terrible. Not even a good fucking. He wouldn't even make a good used car salesman. He's so fucking terrible. And then when he's lying, you can tell he's lying, which is the worst part of it. You know what I'm saying? The guy can't be genuine about anything, even if it would benefit him.
Tonight, it's only about an hour left, so. Oh, yeah. Wojo says he's about to finish tonight as he watches me finish it, so we're going to do it live together. We're going to finish Pirate Yakuza. How do you donate money? You have $1,000? I don't know, because you don't donate to my streams. They're not donations. You could tip.
You mean give you a donation?
You could purchase a bunch of gifted subscriptions to fellow Kick viewers, but you can't donate. There's no way to donate. That's not possible.
I don't know. That takes me back to that. That 341 call, and more importantly, it takes me back to that bankruptcy when that month-to-month income on that first draft looked real suspect, and then people on the farms crunched numbers, people on Detractor Twitter crunched numbers, and then all of a sudden the numbers started to actually get a little bit better. And then next thing you know, if you look at the final filing, DSP's numbers match what Detractor Twitter and the farms had. I'm sure it was just a coincidence, though. I'm sure that's what it was.
What's the difference between a donation and a tip? A donation is considered a, how do you say? A donation is when you give.
You know, it's funny because PPP every once in a while says thanks for the donos and shit like that, right? You do know what, Phil, you do understand what that abbreviation is, right? You know what I'm saying? He thinks that he's trying to like skew a line and shit and whatnot, but Phil, you're the one who files your own fucking taxes, and we know you're not doing that properly, so that doesn't really matter. So all of this shit is just a waste of time, if you would think about it. But whatever, let the con man have his con.
Something to a cause, a nonprofit, something like that. A tip is you are rewarding work from someone who works for profit.
A tip is a reward. Holy shit. So let me ask you a question, Phil. Was it tipping when you were sitting there saying, I'm going to lose my house? Was it tipping when you were saying, guys, I really need you to help me with this money so I can move my girlfriend in, my soulmate in, my soulmate in, and whatnot? Was it all tips then, or was it donations then? How do you differentiate that? Is that a situation by situation basis? They should think.
That's the difference. Both are willing, like neither is required. It's not like, oh, someone gave you a bill, you have to pay it. Both are, I've chosen to donate, I've chosen to tip. But it depends on the type of transaction. The donation is for non-for-profit kind of.
The mental gymnastics are fantastic. Fantastic. It's amazing to see. It's a nice little, I would say it was the Julius Caesar pose, but it's not because he doesn't have the other fingers curled. But then again, if you have hooves and not fingers, I assume that's a problem. Anyway, it's really funny watching him go through all this mental gymnastics because he's scared that the detractors are going to figure out that he's fucking around and doing some dumb shit. The reality of it is, ladies and gentlemen, is DSP does not report all of his tips. We've known that even before the bankruptcy happened. And he's never been able to explain that away because he can't. And ironically enough, other lol cows don't do it either. Fucking low tier god goes through the family and friends bullshit. If you're tipping him, he wants you to do it that way. And because there's a difference between doing it that. Fucking Wings a few times over the years has admitted that he doesn't completely and utterly do his tips the way he does. He should, and whatever. You know what I'm saying? So don't get it twisted. All these idiots were like that in some way, shape, or form. I doubt that King Cobra reported all of his tips the way he was supposed to. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that's like that for a lot of lol cows, just to be honest.
Generous thing, while a tip is someone who has provided a good or service, but it is a paid transaction they're already getting paid for, but now you've decided, hey, I would like to reward you additionally for your, what you've done.
Is it really a reward, though, when you demand it? Makes you think.
That's the difference. And for tax reasons, it's completely different. Donations versus tips are classified completely different for taxes in the United States.
And that's how I know he's scamming. That last part was completely unnecessary. He shouldn't have even said it. But he did it because he thinks it was definitive and he was able to cover his ass. And it's not. It just really, it should give you even more cause for concern, so to speak.
Yeah, any streamer who calls a tip a donation is doing the wrong thing. I've said this for many years.
Now keep in mind, it's the same fucking idiot though who went there and filed for bankruptcy. So yeah, listening to him is really going to do yourself do you a favor, or any favors, I should say. Keep that in mind.
Any streamer who says donation, it's actually classified incorrectly. If they're filing their taxes and saying that those are donations, so they don't have to pay taxes on them, if they're going to get screwed. At one point,
and see, that's what makes me think that during the dark days, the dark ages of detractordom and whatnot, when DSP was, I need money to save the house, I need money for the state and business occupation tax, I need the money to move my soulmate in and all that bullshit. I'm pretty confident that's what he was doing. I'm pretty sure he does it now, but I'm pretty confident that's what the situation is. And then Lord knows, keep in mind, all the games that are donated to him, or the reviewer codes that are sent to him, and this, that, and the third, how does he write that off on his taxes? You know what I'm saying? If you use your noodle, it makes you question how a lot of things are actually reported, if you think about it. And if you really want some clarification, or at least some, not a lot, it'll only help you to an extent. Go back and look at the bankruptcy. Go back and look very closely at the bankruptcy and his bankruptcy filing, and you're going to see a bunch of glaring ass fucking holes in there.
Someone's going to catch them, and they're going to have to pay ridiculous amounts of back taxes and fees because they did it wrong.
Coming from someone who's still paying back taxes and fees. Womp womp.
I have always, every contribution I've ever gotten, I've paid as a full dollar of income. Every single thing.
X to doubt.
More than likely.
X to doubt.
Mine have been paid correctly and everyone else's have been wrong, but I always do mine right.
And then go ahead and bite at the fingers. Not because he saw somebody dark or something dark on the floor over there, but just another tell that we lying, because we can't do anything else but that. And here's the thing. As disgusting as this person is, he don't wash his hands, he's digging in his ears, he's doing all this crazy shit. He don't even think about it. Like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be chewing on my fucking fingers. I don't even wash my fucking hands. That's fucking gross. There's no way him and Cat kiss each other. Ugh. If they do, that explains why she's sick all the time.
Yeah, I've heard about that one. Buy me a coffee. I think the name of it is like buy me a coffee, or
yeah, I have one of those. Most people do, actually.
Or coffee or something like that. It's just another way to tip. It's just a tip is what it is.
Sometime today, Phil.
Is it Ko-fi? K-O-F-I? Oh, okay.
Yeah, Medicare has one of those. That system's actually really, because I've donated through that. That's actually a really convenient system too, now I think about it.
Jimmy Jam getting a highlighted orange message for redeeming his King's favorite points tonight on Kick. Says, I'm great, sir. Thank you for asking. I hope you're having a good day. I am. Again, dual celebration tonight. 15 years as a content creator on DSP Gaming, and my first ever stream as a partner on Twitch. It is a dual celebration tonight. Very exciting stuff.
It's funny too, because I think Max, around this time, I believe, Max had celebrated his time on YouTube as well. And even myself had flocked to his Twitter, you know what I'm saying, saying congratulations, this, that, and the third. I think when DSP talked about it on Twitter, if he did, I wasn't paying attention. I'm pretty confident no one said anything. Kind of like when Phil got married and he thought there was going to be like this huge outpour, but it wasn't. But then when PewDiePie got married, I mean, everybody named Mama who didn't show up to his wedding, which, I mean, even then, I think that was at max capacity, were sending best wishes, and Phil thought he was going to get the same thing, and it didn't happen. Hilarious. Instead of consummating his marriage and shit, you know what I'm saying, seeing what's up with Kat's batter box when she was at a fair enough weight that he could actually accomplish it, he's sitting there fighting with fucking trolls on Instagram and Twitter. Imagine that's how you decide to spend your wedding night. Fucking A. See, if he didn't give Brightside Viking the fucking Blood Eagle treatment, he could have had Brightside Viking do that for him. Womp womp.
Wow, why do we have 70 viewers on Kick? I don't know. I hope you guys stick around for Pyre Yakuza. Seriously, we're going to finish. It's only taken an hour to finish it.
Even more begging. Now he's begging for viewership to stay where it needs to be. Wow, that's so sad.
And then after that, we're just going to chill for like an hour, okay? Then Did I say partner on Twitch? I meant to say partner on Kick. I'm a partner on Kick, not Twitch. Yes, it is officially the 15-year anniversary of DSP Gaming today, because I created the channel on the 15th of April 2010, and I started the regular playthrough uploading on the 16th, the next day. So it's 15 years as of right now. Ionic Gaming with an orange highlighted message saying, shout out to the legend Jade, a fellow Emma Frost main. There you go. Yeah, Jade has not arrived yet, but we are going to get started shortly. I do want to finish the game tonight, so we are going to begin soon. Thank you, Toasty Chestnuts, who says congrats. Now, you know how you could really say congratulations? By supporting the stream. Let's get our first gifted sub of the night over on Kick, or our first legit sub on Kick. Let's get a super chat on YouTube. Let's get a tip. Let's get our first membership on YouTube. Let's get the support going. Like I said, we have done 12 straight streams. I have hit my goals. 12 in a row. Let's do 13 tonight. Let's make 13 our lucky number instead of the unlucky. Let's do it tonight.
Even your lowest ETH bot doesn't do that. Like, doesn't beg like this. That's so wild. That's so wild. Like, when you really think about it, like, what will DSP be remembered for? We always flock to, or gravitate to, I should say, you know what I'm saying, him fucking busting a fucking nut on stream. But the reality is, his lasting legacy is just being one of the internet's worst and most infamous and notorious e-beggars. That's really what he's going to get remembered for. And that's not something he can just explain away. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, like I said, it's modern day panhandling / welfare, if you think about it. It's modern day welfare, I guess, or digital welfare. And he'll never be able to build upon it. This man will never have retirement. You know what I'm saying? He'll probably never pay the house off. When he dies, whoever's next is going to inherit that debt, or the banks will just repossess everything. But DSP don't care because he lives for the now. He's not worried about tomorrow. So future Phil, the only thing he has to look forward to is the sweet release of death. You know what I'm saying? And then whoever is available to inherit is just gonna take DSP's debt. That's sad when you think about it. That's a tough one. That's a real tough one, bro. Fucking A.
What was my biggest donation ever? Nothing, because I don't receive donations. I just explained that. I don't receive donations.
Looking nervous as hell.
Yes, I was on Twitch for many years, on and off. I started streaming there, then I stopped, went to YouTube, then I went back, then I was gone again.
Explain why you left the first time. Explain how stupid you were for leaving the first time over some dumb shit. And if he had really stuck in there, who knows how much money he would have eventually made. It doesn't matter. He would have gotten kicked off sooner than later. Like, what came to pass was destined to happen no matter what. But his first reason for leaving was fucking dumb. Stupid dumb. Over fucking for fucking resolution, basically. Like, you know what I'm saying? He couldn't stream at a higher bitrate. That's what I should use, not resolution. Bitrate. He should have, because he couldn't stream at a higher bitrate like other people who he felt were his contemporaries, which they weren't, but whatever. Because remember, DSP's on an island of his own, so he can't have peers. You know what I'm saying? He can't have contemporaries. He can't have he can't have anybody else that does what he does because he's so fucking unique. Anyway, because he couldn't stream at the same resolution, he decided to pick his ball up and go home. Lame. And then right before Adpocalypse happened, which is beginning of 2027 or 2017, sorry. Before Adpocalypse happened, he had caught word at the end of 2016 that there'd be new ways of monetizing on Twitch. So he reactivated his account. Oh, he was always planning on going back to Twitch. Everybody thinks, let me reword that. He tries to frame it that he went back to Twitch because of Adpocalypse, but that's not true. He had already reactivated his account, and he was already getting himself back into partnership in late 2016. He was always going back. It just happened that he had to he had to basically expedite all that bullshit because of what happened with Adpocalypse, but that's not even the real cause. It's really because of all the copyright claims and shit like that, the false copyright claims. That's what really caused him to go back, because his income was already tanking. He tries to blame it all on Adpocalypse, is why his income was cut by half or almost half. But truth be told, he was already tanking in viewership before then. Like early mid 2016, he was already feeling the crunch of it. I would say arguably it was probably beginning of 2015 is when the decline was really in full swing. So whatever.
I just, ups and downs and all arounds, but Twitch sucks ass now. I would not go back, especially after being on Kick now and seeing how profitable it has been to.
What a whore. What a literal whore. Don't have loyalty to nothing. To nothing. You know what I'm saying? He's made hundreds of thousands of dollars on Twitch in his time there, I should say. Don't have loyalty for shit. Just jumps to the next piece of cock that he can fit in his mouth, I guess. Just like his wife, now that I think about it. Look how quickly she transitioned from Superman to him. And his sister-in-law too. Officer Sanders. She falls into that category as well. Or Detroit. So anyway, that's another thing.
Be on Kick. I would never go back to Twitch. I would be a
I mean the person, Detroit, not the city.
Moron. I would legit be a fucking idiot to go back to Twitch now. There is zero incentive to go back there. Zero. Hold on, because the chair cover's a little messed up. What's up, Jay? Good evening. Seriously, Twitch pays the absolute least of any streaming service. You understand that?
And he still sucked them off while they were over there. It's not like the way their payout changed since he was on there. It was always like that. Never complained. You know what I'm saying? He just started bitching about shit until he was on his way out the door.
Less than YouTube, less than Kick, less than Rumble. They pay less than every.
That's not true. He was definitely making more on Twitch than he was on YouTube. And I would say that even now. Even with the amount of support he has, he can still make more on Twitch. And he would still walk home with more, I should say, than he would on YouTube. Actually, Wings actually has admitted this a couple times, but he's admitted that he made far more money on Twitch than he does on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And if he could get himself remonetized, which I think he can, at least now, like I said, with the new initiative, he's going to eventually go back too, because he might as well dual stream, to be honest. But I think at the moment, though, he's either in the cuffs of, or he's already back on LolCal Live, which I had already made a bunch of, I'll name these segments later on why that was going to happen anyway. So it's kind of funny how it all came to pass. But anyway, so that's a thing in itself. But, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure the moment he gets the notification, Wings, he gets the notification that he can make money over there, he's more than likely going to go back to dual streaming, because there's no reason for him not to. And I'm pretty confident that Keemstar and Boogie will encourage him to do so, because it only makes sense. But, Wings is a lazy fuck, so who can say anything about anything?
Everyone, and yet they have the absolute worst moderation.
But if you're sorry, I'm going on a tangent here. But if you're Keemstar, you need Wings to do that. You need Wings to dual stream his regular shit on YouTube and Twitch, because then maybe he can pull some of the Twitch audience over to LolCal. And more importantly, sooner than later, Keem may actually try to expand at least LolCal Live, at least the flagship show, over to Twitch. He may very well want to do that one day. I don't know what kind of connections he has over there, but that might be something he goes for. So, and if you guys were around during when Real Talk existed, they were a pretty popular show. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they do anything now, but they did for a bit. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's still something there's money out there. And you know what I'm saying? There's still money over there. So, I'm pretty sure Keem has at least considered it.
Moderation whatsoever. They don't let you moderate properly at all, because their moderation is based on hearsay and people getting upset because you insult.
No, that's not moderation. That's not what he's trying to talk about. Because DSP has always complained that YouTube's moderation was never up to snuff to YouTube's. The moderation he's talking about is really about himself, about how Kick handles people on their own platform, that mainly their streamers or whatever. But the thing is, in his contract with Twitch, it says that, hey, you represent us not just over here on Twitch, but on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube. End of story. DSP signed that. So anything that he does on the platform or off the platform is subjected to some type of punishment if they deem necessary. End of story. What DSP's really pissed off about is the fact that they won't sit there and give him another chance and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was a Biggie song. You know what I'm saying? Biggie, give me another chance or whatever. Or give me one more chance. That's not how this works. Like, it's because DSP wants to sit there and play stupid and act like he don't know and this, that, and the third. Just like what happened when he was going through that indefinite suspension and he was able to talk his way out of it because he cried and complained to his partner manager at that time and they were able to make it happen. He can't do that to anybody anymore. Because truth be told, when DSP finally got demonetized off Twitch, even though he was a partner, he didn't have a partner manager. That was completely taken away from him. That doesn't mean that other partners didn't have partner managers. It meant that he didn't have a partner manager. There wasn't someone assigned to deal with him. So whoever it was who was liberated from the fucking Gout Gestapo, if you will, or the Gouty Abyss, who had to deal with DSP directly, they were out the picture. And that's what really led for him to get fucked over and eventually get bumped out. That's why everybody, and myself included, felt like Hassan, not Hassan Piker, the other one, that Hassan was more than likely watching DSP's ass. I never said that, or no one really ever said that he was the partner manager, or DSP's partner manager. He was the person who was at least over whoever DSP's partner manager was. That's why DSP got away with all the shit he got away with. I still firmly believe that. But there's nobody there that exists now that would be able to come out and admit it. And if there is anybody around, they'll probably go to like That Being Said or Agent Proper and tell their story more than anything. So anyway, but that's my thoughts on that.
To their hair color, I'm not fucking kidding. Can you believe that? Can you seriously believe that? You can't say, hey, your blue hair makes you look like a Muppet. If you say that on Twitch, you get banned.
It was a stupid thing to say. It's a really stupid, petty, immature thing to say. So yeah, whatever. I'm sorry that you're a fucking retard. You don't have any self-control. Basically, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody can be Hassan Piker and be calling for the death of other people or their wives to be assaulted and get away with it, Phil. Sorry, that's not a thing, champ.
How about kiss my fucking ass, you little pussy bitches? Holy shit, Twitch, you suck.
Oh wow, look at talking all this tough shit to a platform that no one's ever going to hear about. Makes sense. Smart move, Phil. But when the day he goes back, there's going to be a compilation. I'll probably be one of the people that help contribute to it, where all that bullshit that he has said about Twitch over the years gets put into a nice little package and gets sent to them in whatever variety of ways that information is sent to other people. And then we'll see what he has to say then.
Fuck. So I would never go back there. Fuck no. I'd be a complete.
He said that the first time he left Twitch. after that bitrate bullshit. He was never going to go back. What ended up happening?
Moron. I received an $8 tip. Thank you. I want to say I appreciate you sticking to your own opinions over the years, even if they're not popular or mainstream. I finished South of Midnight the other day, and I enjoyed it. It's a cool art style, interesting story, and passable combat. I did enjoy the fact it feels like a 360 or PS3 era game with a more linear gameplay and beatable working 10 hours, but I agree with you. There's nothing woke about it. That's coming from someone who considers themselves center-right politically, and I despise woke games. And you know what? I was enjoying South of Midnight. 100%. I would,
No, he wasn't. That eye darting kind of already gave him away, but he wasn't enjoying that shit. Let's be honest.
It felt like a throwback style game to me, and I wanted to play more. And the audience outright told me, no, the game is too woke, and we will not watch you play it or support it. So I had to drop it.
So his audience. So are you saying your audience is full of racists then? And doesn't that make you racist for catering to them, or at least racist adjacent? I guess. Whatever.
Which is really lame and stupid. And then the next day I explained to everyone.
So your audience is really lame and stupid, and yet you still do what they say. Imagine that. What's that make you then, Phil?
On how wrong they were on the podcast, but somehow I was the one in the wrong.
If that's the case, then why didn't you keep playing the game then if they're the ignorant bastards because they wouldn't let you play this game that you yourself admitted was a good game? Huh. This is interesting to see how that goes. Let's see where else he takes us with this.
Doing that. I was the one for telling people when you're just follow bigots online blindly and stupidly say shit like that you look like a dunce.
You are a bigot though. And most of the people in your audience are bigots. Holy shit. Most of your long-standing fans who used to fight for you were bigots. The fuck? All right, whatever.
They got angry at me Because you know what it is? People don't like to look in the mirror and see their true reflection. They want to look in the mirror and say, oh, I belong with a group of people and we all think the same, so we're all cool, right?
You mean like that fake ass Italian bullshit you try to pull? I don't see you going ahead and raising the Polish flag about anything. What about that? You're more associated with the Polish than you are with the Italians. So, huh? Or that fake gamer shit. You're not a gamer. You've never been a gamer. You know what I'm saying? You're an e-beggar. You've always been that. You're a fucking loser and whatnot. You were never anybody in the FGC whatsoever. You had some moments. You got yourself a little bit of fucking coverage and shit, but you're never going to be hailed with the greats. You know what I'm saying? You've contributed nothing. It was all self-serving, and people saw it for what it was. That's why you don't get any coverage now. It's funny how we're going to talk about people being frauds and all this woke bullshit, and he literally fits into all that.
Right? But instead, when I call you out and you look in the mirror, like, oh, fuck, Phil's right. The game's not woke. I'm just a loser who just believes people online. All of a sudden, it's shocking. Oh, well, Phil's got to be wrong. There's no way he could be right because then I'm bad. I'm in the wrong here.
And yet he's still catering to those people. Think about that. He's calling his fans, his viewers, bigots. He's saying that they're fucking assholes. They're sheeple, basically. And they listen to other people, and that's what gave this bad... it's giving this game basically a poor reputation, I suppose. And yet he's still catering to them.
Whatever. You know, it sucks. I'll never play it now, but it is what it is. Dunsfelter, how are you? Redeemed a green message.
So you call these people sheeple. You say that they listen to terrible narratives. They're bigots and this, that, and the third. And instead of in an act of defiance, because you really like the game, allegedly, you won't continue to play it and finish it. You're just gonna take a knee to them, huh? Is that what that is, Phil? You're gonna put your knee on that game's neck because the audience told you to do it. I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
To John Kick with his King's favorite points, and he says, I scrolled off the screen. He says, we here on it keeps scrolling. We here on Kick say hi to Jade. There you go. Dunsfelter says hello to Jade tonight. Jade, the people on Kick love you.
I wonder if Jade's mother's still dating the editor of Game Informer magazine. I wonder if she's still in that relationship. Interesting. Another thing too, it's funny how she don't mind parading her normal kids. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. It's weird that she's okay with parading her normal kids, but she don't really put Jade in some of those pictures though. That's kind of sad. Yeah, that's kind of sad. Anywho,
you can see my nipples through the shirt. Oh, good. I'm glad you can. I'm glad that's what you're looking for there. Random person in chat. I'm glad that you're staring at my nipples. Good for you.
I mean, given all that LTG talk that you've been doing as of late, I mean, whatever. And over the years. It can't be any more suspect than some of the shit that you've said.
All right. Big Barb today highlighted message over on Kick. Says the silent majority actually like your cologne review reward. Well, too bad. I was publicly dragged through the streets by my feet, covered in mud, rocks, debris all stabbed me as I was pulled down the street. Then you tarred.
Are you supposed to be Gouty Caesar? What the fuck?
Feathered me as I was being pulled down the street. I don't appreciate that. So no.
You don't appreciate that? It was a stupid idea. Sorry. Smell-o-vision hasn't been invented yet, and if it did, I could only imagine being that you don't bathe, and he's admitted this. He only bathes like twice a week, if that. I mean, I can only imagine. Why would someone who, yet again, who doesn't bathe, who has very little when it comes to hygiene, want to put cologne on? And think that would mean anything about anything. And then on top of that, you want to do a DSP tries it with cologne. How many different types of cologne are you going to have, Phil? And do you know that, you shouldn't be mixing colognes? You know that, right? You know that's not a thing, right? You know it's not a smart thing to do, right? So it's bad enough that you'd be wanting to put cologne on an unwashed body, but then you want to try multiple ones? It'd be different if you were using like a scent stick. Not that you know what that is, but it'd be different if you were using something like that, but you're not. So what's the point? Whatever, semantics.
No cologne for you. Sorry about that. No cologne reviews. And it sucks today. I'm actually wearing a nice cologne too. I'm actually wearing a designer cologne, a very expensive cologne.
You're wearing an expensive cologne to show up on stream. Make that make sense, ladies and gentlemen. Dent. Fucking dent.
That I was going to tell you all about, but now I'm done with it. I'm not doing it anymore. The idea, you shamed me, said my idea was bad, so too bad.
Whiny little bitch.
What's up, Dream Greens? Good evening.
Amazing.
No, Stuart, I'm not watching NXT Stand and Deliver on Saturday. It's going to be more than enough watching all of WrestleMania over the weekend for Monday, so I'm not doing that.
Lifetime wrestling fan, though.
It's 10 points every 5 minutes. Oh, okay. Let me fix that. Timed messages.
Really should put some glasses on, Phil.
So 10 points every 5 minutes. Fixed. Let me save. Okay, that should be fixed now. Thank you for telling me that I got it backwards.
You can see how hurt he is with that cologne idea.
Jade's ready to...
You can see literally how hurt he is, like how deflated he is about that. I don't even know if that was even an original idea, so I don't understand why he's so mad about it, but whatever. Apparently, he had a lot of faith in it.
See Goro-san for the final time tonight. All right, let's get set up. Let's actually finish this game. And guys, please support the stream while we finish the game. Let's hit the goal again tonight. Let's hit 13 straight. Let's celebrate me being a partner on Kick. Let's celebrate 15 years of DSP Gaming. Let's just celebrate being alive, for God's sakes. Let's do it tonight. Here we go. All right. So I got to turn everything.
I wonder why you didn't say that to Medicare when you were desperately trying to get him on the show before, time was almost up. Oh, well, let's not bring that up. Let me not keep kicking you below the belt on that one. Holy shit.
Off again. I really hope the power doesn't go out again. Let me tell you, it's a pain in the ass to have to keep redoing this.
I wonder if that's what PPP was. That PPP's POV, Phil? When you were sucking him off on a regular basis, is that what it was? Is that what fucking low tier God imagines seeing? Gotta tell you, man, that's some wild ass shit. Wild ass shit.
Got it.
Oh boy. Fun times to be had, ladies and gentlemen. Fun times to be had. Okay. Let's see here. What are we gonna go with? We can do that. We can do that. Oh, given how late this is. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's a DSP's celebration of his Kick deal, as well as his continued frustration and animosity against the audience for not buying in on his clone DSP tries it idea. Not that I don't blame them for that, but whatever. And overall, just some of the scumbaggery that Kick allowed, or what he thinks Kick will allow, and whatever. And hopefully, as time goes on, we can tackle some of those things for sure. Especially, like I said, him forgetting, in air quotes, to turn off and on the fact that he was multi-streaming. Anywho, but yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Oh shit, that's so good. That's so good. That's pretty much it for me. Oh, and the woke shit. I wasn't really expecting that, but DSP's word don't carry no weight when it comes to that, so we can disregard that with impunity, I think. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it. Hope to catch you guys for the next one of these, whenever that may be. Hopefully sooner than later. Oh boy. Oh boy. It's interesting that it was kind of nice to watch how Kick started for him, at least from his partnership journey, I should say. Be interesting to see how it ends. He's talking about WrestleMania, so the split between him and PPP already happened. Pretty sure. So, anywho, that should be funny to go over all that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Snort Report. This has been DSP News. Always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on. Oh, yes, by GTG Network and Productions. For the Snort Report, SnortBucks Coffee Company, Hard Snorts Gin and Tonic, and Tim Snortons, I've been your host / anchor GTG, and I'm signing off. Take care of yourselves, people. in the broadcast.